So I don't know if you can tell, but it is fall here in Minnesota, Zone 4B. We're out to the garden. I've got my brand new basket I get to bring down, and I am really excited, but it is 55 degrees right now. It's not nighttime. It's the middle of the afternoon, the heat of the day, 55 degrees. So fall is here. We are going to have some warm days coming up, so we're excited about that, but we have to deal with some fall weather first and try to keep our plants alive. So we have lots of new flowers, which is really exciting. I guess there are some cold weather flowers here that just wanted to pop up. So we have some pink and purple and some other fun things going on. Our Italian heirloom tomato that we planted up here has still not had an actual tomato on it. I just don't think this was really good soil for it, and it's just starting to form its first tomato. I don't know if we'll be able to get it red to be able to get seed from it, so I'm going to be saving some seed from our Italian heirlooms that we planted in the garden, so at least we can have some of those seeds for next year. Our little bonus plant, our corn that came up here, it's just about ready to harvest. It's field corn, so we might give that to the chickens, but I'm actually excited to dry out the corn plant and have some free fall decoration.
What is up, everyone? We got week 14. Garden tour. And it's cold. It's like winter's coming.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be warm, so
yeah.
Let's go check out the garden. Week 14, I gotta hold it up. Fall's coming, it's done. They're not black yet. They're still got some life in there, but as you can tell, it's leaning pretty good, so they're about done. I don't know if we will collect seed from them. We talked about it, but I figured just feed them to the chickens.
Look at our lunchbox peppers. We showed you a while back. They were starting to turn orange. We've got 3 ready to pick. I'm gonna pick them today, and hopefully I can sneak them in the boys' lunch this week. They love these peppers. This was our random bonus dill plant. It seemed like all the dill we planted this year didn't come up, and this one came up on its own. Our dill did eventually come up, but not soon enough for pickles. Our pickles are long done, and this one's already going to seed. As you can see, there's some dried seed already here, and I think I'm gonna leave it in the garden and let it spread so we never have to worry about having dill again.
So our peppers, I just wanted to say, I am just shocked, and we always go by the rule of 1% every day. If you make your life or your day 1% better than the last day, it's going to be that much better at the end of the year. And it's just every year we try to do 1% better in our garden, and we try to make more food for us and our family. And these peppers, I am just so happy because we are going to be able to put a ton of them up for the winter, and I'm hoping that gets us through to where our greenhouse can hold off or keep us fed in the middle of the winter, and then we can start growing right away in February. I am just pumped. I cannot believe this. And next year, we got a new drawing. We know exactly what we're gonna do and how we're gonna lay this out. And I'm not gonna tell you, because you're gonna have to watch and keep watching.
We also have some new ideas for the peppers. I've been doing a lot of research, and I think we're gonna do something with these king peppers before we just let the season be done.
The Romas are all done. Sarah was picking them all, the last couple. The ones that are left are kind of like a mushy almost, so we're just gonna feed them to the chickens. They love them either way.
So last week I shared with you the issues we've been having with the tomatillos, and if you missed that, I will link that video up above. But we're trying our best to pick these tomatillos when they're ripe, cook them, trying to do this right because we've got a lot coming in still, and they do seem a lot hardier than the tomatoes. They seem like they're going to be able to put up with a little more cold. So I think I found one that's right, and I think I'm going to try just the tiniest amount of salsa verde to see if we are finally figuring out when they are ripe so we can enjoy these and put use to them.
So I don't know about you guys, but our zucchini have just like hit the pause button, but now they're coming back. Oh, my poor boy Evan just does not like zucchini, but we eat so much of it and we just don't tell him when we put it in stuff. But he's slowly catching on. Because he'll sneak in the kitchen and look what we're putting in the pans. Leave it in the comments. Is your zucchini still producing?
I am always amazed that every year we are picking tomatoes up until that freeze date. We're picking green tomatoes when it's freezing, when it's just about freezing. And last year I made a bunch of green enchilada sauce, and I did that a couple years. I've done that and just put it in the freezer, and that worked out well. But I found
Wait. We can't tell you yet.
We found a new idea for preserving tomatoes that I feel like is probably an old idea. It's probably one our grandparents were well aware of, and we just didn't know how to do it. So I'm going to be picking some green tomatoes at the end of the season, and then we'll share with you what we're trying. So our cayenne peppers are still green, but they look really great. We still have probably half a quart or so of ground up cayenne powder from last year's garden. So I think we actually have enough of that to get through the year, or at least close to it. So I was looking at some hot sauce recipes and realizing I can make quite a few different hot sauce recipes using cayenne peppers. If you have a favorite recipe, please tell me down below. I've looked at some fermented hot sauce recipes, some canned hot sauce recipes, and just kind of deciding what we are going to do if we get some red cayenne peppers, because they're green today.
That girl there is the sapphire, and that one there is a lavender. They just love the tomatoes. And they're also attracted to red.
So I am picking, once again, another handful of green beans. Still getting enough here and there for little side dishes for our meals, or to go in the freezer, hopefully, for some dishes this winter.
I really think out of all the sunflowers we grew, this one is by far the coolest. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 heads growing on it. I mean, how cool is that? I don't even know if the bees even like this type or not, but just cool for color. I might plant some of these next year. I buy a bag every year to feed to the chickens and birds, so I might as well plant some of it. Hey, it's pretty cool.
So fall weather, you know what that means? Our pumpkins are all starting to turn orange already. We've got lots of orange pumpkins up here, but that's not it. Come here. Look at these little baby watermelons. I think these might be some of the biggest watermelons we've had. We've been able to fit about half a watermelon in the kids' lunch boxes before, so that tells you how big they are, probably a little bit smaller than that. So here's the pumpkin, and here's the watermelon. This is a really big pie pumpkin and our watermelon. So we usually look at our pumpkins from down below, but I'm up here in the pumpkin patch, and I'm noticing there's some white, kind of powdery, mildewy looking stuff on top of the pumpkin leaves. Anybody know what that is? So we ended up with a few volunteer native plants around here. This is a clammy ground cherry. We've got one down here, and then quite a few up by the bees. And I just peeked under it, and some of the ground cherries actually fell off. So I believe they're ready to eat. Here's the problem. My issues with the tomatillos, they just look a lot like a tomatillo. I don't know if I want to try them. Matt's seen me with my issues with the tomatillos. Matt, you gonna try them?
I've had gut issues for 2 years straight a while back, and they took my gallbladder from me. I am not trying them. Watching her suffer like that, brought back flashback, no way, no how.
So it looks like I'm on my own if I want to try these ground cherries. Maybe I'll wash them up tonight and give them a try. I have to go do something later today, and I don't want to be in pain for that. So if I try these, I will be sure to record it, and you'll see it at the end of this video.
So the greenhouse is jamming. It's doing awesome. This is just cool. I can't believe it. It's awesome. It's just awesome. I gotta tie up the tomato plant yet. We're gonna pull some kohlrabi, and then I planted another tomato plant from that one. Just took a branch off, stuck it deep in the ground, about yay deep, watered it, and good to go. Now we have peppers growing, coming out. It's just so cool. So many little bitty ones. But this week's gonna be cold. So in a couple of nights, we're gonna hit down into the 30s, the upper 30s. So what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be cloudy the next couple of days, I'm gonna take and lower the sides. I think I'm gonna take the shade cloth off to help keep this warm, because I want this to be really warm in here. And I'm gonna also water the floor a lot, because going into winter, I wanna make sure the beds have enough moisture and the ground underneath it, because if you have moisture in the ground, it's gonna retain the heat that we're gonna be putting in here. But dude, so cool how well this is all doing.
This tomato plant is so crazy. Crazy to think this was one little seed we planted. That was one little plant that we planted in here. And now it's a gigantic jungle. So I always forget to show you my herbs. Up here on our deck, looking out over our beautiful garden, are my herbs. My cilantro, as you can see, not doing so hot. I need to come out here with a little jar and collect the seed so I can plant some more. My basil is doing great, but this cold weather is really taking a number on it. You can see it's starting to wilt. So I'm going to be picking a lot of it this week and freezing it and drying it and all sorts of things to get it used up, because Matt just told me he's not going to move this big container to the greenhouse for me. My mint, oh yeah, that's moving down to the greenhouse. We need this for the winter too. Matt is getting that greenhouse all shut in anticipation of those 30-something degree days. Not quite freezing yet, but it's coming, I think.
So I got them all tied up. I even got the pepper plant tied up. And I was just saying to my wife, what a blessing this actually turned out to be, that the first tomato plant pretty much dying and we cut it off, but it sprouted another one, that's why we cut it off. So it was so far behind, but now all those are done, and this one's just starting to make fruit. And it's kind of cool, because I wonder if this will go to into December. You know, it's a big part, or a big tomato plant, so we'll see. And the pepper plants though. The pepper plants. Look at how big these tomatoes are. So cool. What an accomplishment this year. So many ups and downs. But we rode that wave right through. So we wanted to say, hope you enjoyed the show.
Thanks for watching.
And if you guys like it, this content, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm gonna do it, finally. Took me about a day, but I washed really good, and I'm gonna try this ground cherry. Okay, I think I'm still too nervous. It tastes fine. It's kind of sour, and that made me completely nervous that it's bad, but I know it's supposed to be sour. It's fine. I don't know. I'm really glad I didn't plant ground cherries this year, although I wish I had planted ground cherries in place of tomatillos. Hopefully I'm fine. I'm not even gonna finish this little tiny thing here.